St. Louis, Missouri, gateway to the West. But it's the floodgates that are about to open here with more force than the mighty Mississippi. Renowned gospel singer Zella Jackson Price suspects the city has been keeping a 50-year-old secret.
The Zella Price story is causing women to come forward questioning whether they were lied to when told their babies died at Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
All sparked by her moving reunion with the daughter she thought had died 5 decades ago.
You can't tell me that one child who miraculously shows up 50 years later was the full extent and scope of the exploitation that was in place.
How many women would you guess have contacted you?
We're approaching 150 women with credible stories.
After zeroing in on those stories, Watkins goes on to make a raging allegation, brazenly pointing the finger at that hospital, Homer G. Phillips.
The place to buy it was Homer G, and babies were being sold out of the parking lot. It was pay for play, cash on delivery.
And Watkins is ready to take on the city, one battered and reeling from the unrest in nearby Ferguson.
No peace!
I can hold her baby up, Exhibit A, and you tell me a jury in the city of St. Louis gonna listen to this gospel singer that everybody knows and look at this beautiful baby Diana. They're gonna give her the arch, the stadium, they'll give her the damn state. This is wrong, and we owe it to every one of these women.
So many women who have come out of the woodwork in the wake of publicity brought on by Zella's case.
They want to know if a St. Louis hospital stole their newborns and sold them.
The day we visited Watkins' office, here's the scene we found. One anxious woman after another, all with the same searing question. Could my child still be alive? As these women began to file in here, what kinds of emotions did you see?
They weren't here to garner sympathy or tears from some skinny little white attorney from the suburbs. They were here to get answers.
How many of you delivered children at Homer G. Phillips? Did any of you ever give up this feeling inside that maybe your baby might be alive? Never?
Never. And it's been difficult for me because I didn't get a chance to take and see my baby walk for the first time. I did not get a chance to take her to school for the first day. And they just took my baby. And I want my baby back. They have opened up wounds.
Otha Brand was just 15 at the time she gave birth, and like Zella says, she never held her baby in her arms.
You know, when a mother holds a child, there's contact. And I might have started questioning some things, maybe if I'd have held that child.
63-year-old Jacqueline Butler, a nanny for most of her life because of her love for babies, says hospital staff made up excuses to prevent her from seeing hers.
I was told, you can't see her, you have a cold. And I would say, no, I don't have a cold, I want to see my baby.
I kept begging to see her. And finally, they came back and said that she had died 3 days afterwards, and I had been there 10, and no one had said anything.
No one came in to tell you?
No.
How many of you think you might get some answers? All say they never got death certificates and admit they didn't ask questions back then. Most were teens carrying babies out of wedlock, naive, often alone and scared.
This is the mid-60s, where the word of a doctor, the word of a nurse, it was the functional equivalent of gospel. The doctor said your baby is passed, or the nurse has said your baby is passed, your baby is passed.
At the center of this controversy, Homer G. Phillips Hospital, now a senior living facility. But at the time, the city-run hospital was a beacon of hope in the black community, considered one of the most technically advanced in the world.
They were going to show that they were going to deliver Class A care, secondary to none.
The firestorm is unfathomable to Dr. Will Ross, an associate professor at Washington University School of Medicine, who was working on a book praising the old hospital when Zella Jackson Price's story breaks. Must have floored you.
It did, because we're talking about the legacy of a great hospital, the premier training ground for African American physicians, the pride of that community.
In such a prominent hospital, how could something as underhanded as baby stealing happen? St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter Robert Patrick, who's been on the story, says not everything was running smoothly at the publicly funded hospital.
They struggled each year for money, and I think one of the things that suffered was administration, staffing, maybe record keeping.
This shouldn't come as a surprise. It was a hospital that was the black hospital. You had supervisory issues, you had personnel issues, you had regulatory compliance issues.
So it was kind of the perfect storm for some kind of scandalous activity.
Perfect storm is an appropriate, if not perfect, description.
The big question many would ask, of course, is why? There wasn't the premium on black babies. Why?
St. Louis has always proudly had a large and significant middle-class African-American community. There was a market need, and you had a mindset that this baby doesn't have a chance with this mom. So we're going to do everyone a favor. And by the way, we're going to make some money in the process.
So a moral judgment here and a little financial incentive, and it all kind of went together.
It's playing God with some babies.
With these scathing allegations and so many tearful women coming forward, Watkins puts pressure on authorities to open an investigation.
Everybody was shocked.
U.S. Attorney Richard Callahan.
If true, it was something terrible going on at the time that nobody knew about.
Meantime, Watkins could be on the verge of another reunion.
Hi, my name is Al Watkins.
On the line with him, 48-year-old Tanya Montgomery, a mom of 7, about to receive a bombshell.
We think we've identified you as a potential child of one of the mothers.
And I said, what?
Tanya has no reason to believe she was adopted, but is open to looking into the possibility if it would help one of the mothers.
There are only 2 babies that were born at Homer G. Phillips Hospital on May 30, 1967, and one of them was you.
Could Tanya be the long-lost daughter of Otha Brand, a woman we met earlier?
He told me that it could be a possibility that I could be her child.
I just believe that she is my daughter. It's just too many coincidences, you know, and I just feel that it is.
Notice any striking similarities? They do. So they agreed to meet in person while we at 2020 commissioned a DNA test.
Looks like we have the same smile. That's a good picture of you right there. I can see like my eyes a little bit.
Could the results help confirm those stunning baby selling allegations? Stay with us.